Good morning. Morning. Welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. We invite you to take a moment to check in on Facebook and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram as we begin this morning's announcements. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you did not receive a welcome packet on your way in, please raise your hand so one of our ushers can bring one to you. Please fill in the card and stop by the Welcome Center in the foyer, ask questions, and connect with us. Most of all, we want you to know how welcome you are. For everyone else, sit back, relax, because we've got some announcements for you. Fa la 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 la. I don't think that'll help, but thanks for the gesture. Please join members of Celebration and the Mount Sinai Choir as we spread holiday cheer by singing Christmas carols at the Domain Tuesday, December 17th at 6 p.m. Be sure and register online or in the foyer. If you are bringing a minor, please fill out the minor release form by December 12th. Every holiday season, we honor the spirit of giving through our annual giving tree. This year, we've renamed it to the Blessing Tree, and I'm excited to tell you why. Out on the tree in the foyer, there are angel cards for several organizations that we are supporting. Gifts for family elder care are due back by December 8th. The rest need to be returned by December 15th so that we can make sure that your generosity is received in time for Christmas. As for the blessing part, Lucille Sorensen has created special cards for you to write on and hang on the tree for every angel card that you claim. So you take an angel card and then you replace it with a special blessing, an affirmation, a prayer, anything that might bless your heart or others. Once all of the angel cards are claimed, our tree will be decked with blessings. Be sure to stop by the tree after service today. This coming Tuesday marks the annual day of generosity known as #GivingTuesday, when family, friends, and coworkers join together to give back. Unity Church of the Hills is participating in Giving Tuesday, and several generous donations have already agreed to match the first $2,850 raised. After the first service today, we actually had someone else donate another $150, so that brings our matching total up even more. There is an insert in today's bulletin with more information. We are grateful for each and every one of you and your generous hearts. If you love decorating, and I do, and Christmas, join your fellow UCOH community for holiday decorating November 29th and 30th. Our decorating festivities will culminate in a special holiday decorating party on Monday, December 2nd from 7 to 9 p.m. Bring a tray of cookies, enjoy hot cider and cocoa, listen to festive Christmas music, and help us deck the halls. Visit the volunteer kiosk in the foyer to sign up. Sunday, December 1st is our holiday bazaar. Complete your Christmas gift list while also supporting your spiritual community. We have lots of different vendors selling handcrafted goods in Friendship Hall. Today, we will be kicking off this season of gratitude with IAC's annual Day of Thanks service. Join with other faith communities at Riverbend Church at 3 p.m. for an inspiring interfaith service. Then, Tuesday, November 26th, UCOH joins with other local churches for our annual ecumenical service at Hope Presbyterian at 7:30 p.m. Then, on Thanksgiving Eve at 7 p.m., we will have a special communion and anointing service right here at UCOH, led by our licensed Unity teachers and prayer chaplains. Special music will be provided by Inspiration. On Thanksgiving Day, you are invited to join with others in our 4th annual Thanksgiving meal held here at the church. We will eat at noon, but please come early and help us set up. You can bring a side dish, and the protein will be provided. Please register in advance online or in the foyer so we know how many turkeys to make. After the 11:25 service today, chaplains Joni Lorraine and John Fleming will be holding a Conscious Conversations meeting entitled Calling All Voices at 1 p.m. in Legacy Suite. This is a powerful and safe space where we will explore together the various emotions we're experiencing as a community in transition. Now, I'm done. You're welcome. As we move into a more sacred time, please silence your phone as we begin our worship service.
Please be seated, and good morning. So when I heard that our guest speaker today was going to talk about gratitude, I immediately thought about my prayer partner, Reverend Eileen Ramsey. She and I are both part of a gratitude group, and we share 3 gratitudes every day. And in addition, during our weekly mastermind requests, they all fall into 3 categories. Every week, we ask for support personally, for all sentient beings, and then gratitude. And actually, we start with gratitude. So recently, when we've been talking about the spirituality of gratitude, as she's reading a book that's entitled The Grateful Heart, Living the Christian Message, by Wilkie Awe and Noreen Cannon Awe. In that book, the authors write, as Thomas Keating wisely states, in this life, happiness is rooted in our basic attitude toward reality. Contentment with life deepens to the extent that we view our lives with gratitude. Thus, a spirituality of gratitude fosters an ongoing conversion of heart that moves us from feeling entitled to everything we have to feeling grateful for the gift nature of everything. I asked Reverend Eileen for the quote above, and she added the following bit of her own wisdom. She says, our opportunity is to realize that everything in our life is here by divine appointment, and to look actively for the gift or blessing in it. And so now I would invite our prayer chaplains and our chaplain emeriti to stand and hold sacred space as we open ourselves to the gift nature of this day in prayer. And I am deeply grateful. Deeply grateful for this day and for everything that is in it and everything that has come before, because everything that came before was essential to this day. And so I open my heart and my mind to the awe and wonder that we are here, that our hearts are beating. And I feel great gratitude, love, and joy. And it is that indwelling presence within each of us, pressing itself out, that expresses as gratitude, that holds all that is in a vibration of unconditional love and acceptance. And so I step out of the way so that more of that may express itself today. And I bless our time together, knowing that it is rich with goodness and wisdom and grace. I allow this day to unfold because I step out of the way and allow it to be. And for this capacity within my own being, within our being, to be stewards of God's love and peace and grace, I give thanks. And so it is. Amen.
Please stand for the congregational song. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. I am so thankful today, sweet Spirit. I am so thankful today, oh Lord. Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go.
Thank you.
Good morning. Hey, and welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. And isn't it a beautiful day in the neighborhood? Each morning we like to cover one of our values, principles, our mission, or our vision. This morning we are focused on our second value, Spirit-led. Let us speak it together. Each of us is innately guided by divine wisdom from within. Aligned with this wisdom, we are harmoniously led individually and collectively as a spiritual community, and life unfolds with greater ease and grace for all, of all. Well, here at UCOH, we like to sing happy birthday to our octogenarians. Today, we'd like to sing happy birthday to a longtime congregant, a personal friend of mine, and a pew pal, Kathy Romine. Hey, thank you, Kathy, for standing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy. Happy birthday to you.
We'd like to welcome our first-timers at this point. So if you're visiting Unity Church of the Hills for the first time, would you stand so we could give you a blessing? We would love that. Fantastic. Now, as good as the applause is, that's not the blessing. So, congregation, if you'll repeat after me, welcome. We are so grateful you are here. Wherever you are, on your spiritual journey, we are grateful you are here. And we will meet you there. Welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. Many of you know today's special guest speaker, Bonnie Gale. She was an active member of Unity Church of the Hills for over 7 years and is a licensed Unity teacher. Her formal education emphasized traditional Bible study and has enriched her breadth of understanding of metaphysical truth. She is passionate about unity and new thought and has been serving as the spiritual leader of Unity of Lake Travis for over 2 years. However, due to a recent move to Tyler, Texas for a new full-time job, she is currently assisting Unity of Lake Travis in finding a new spiritual leader. Many of you also know Bonnie's wife, Vicki Gale. Vicki served on our Board of Trustees for 2 terms, one of those as board president. The two of them co-coordinated the Rainbow Fellowship, and Bonnie worked extensively with Austin's Pride Interfaith Partnership as a coordinator and member of panel discussions. We are grateful to have both Bonnie and Vicki back with us this morning. And now, at this part in our service, we invite you to settle in and prepare yourself for meditation as Vicki Gale comes up and leads us.
You know, it's kind of surreal as we drove to church this morning. It just felt like coming home, because this is our home. You are our home. And it is within that kind of loving energy that I would like you to relax, and let's take that energy into meditation. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Once again, inhale. Exhale. Let your awareness move to your drive under that arch this morning. As you came to the church, and remember the energy that you felt as you walked into the building, the sounds you heard, the laughter, the feeling of love as you came into this beautiful space. Take another deep breath. Exhale and say to yourself, for this I am grateful. Next, bring to mind those people in your life to whom you are close. Your friends, your family, your partner, maybe even your beloved pet. And think of someone in particular that you can hardly think about without smiling. Smile as you breathe in deeply and say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Next, turn your attention onto yourself. You are a unique individual, blessed with imagination, blessed with the ability to communicate, to learn from the past, and to prepare and plan for the future, to overcome any pain or anxiety, Say to yourself, for me, I am grateful. Finally, rest in the realization that life is a precious gift, that all you'll ever need is already available inside you. You have the gift of health, the gift of love, the gift of prosperity, and access to anything that you need. Say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Take that feeling of gratitude as we go into the silence. As you bring your awareness back to the present moment, bring that feeling of gratitude and love with you, knowing that you can always tap into it. It's always there inside of you.
Grateful for the things that God has done. Yes, I'm grateful for the lessons I have learned. I could go on and on and on about your works, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful for my life, oh Lord. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. I am grateful for the things that God has done. Yes, I'm grateful for the lessons I have learned. I could go on and on and on about your words, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful for my life, oh Lord. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. Grateful, grateful, grateful. flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart, flowing from my heart. All the issues of my heart, flowing from my heart. All the issues of my heart, flowing from my heart. All the issues of my heart, it's gratefulness.
Well, I'm sure grateful for Celebration. It's so good to hear from them again, for sure. I know that when I started working with Unity of Lake Travis down the road, first thing I did is make sure I had some good music. And I couldn't get Celebration, but I got one of their ex-members, Kim Pellini, to come and help us at Unity of Lake Travis. And it was sad to see them go as we had to move to Tyler. But I'll tell you, this place is my home for sure. And I'm so grateful to be here this morning with all of you, my friends, my family. That's how I feel. So Unity Church of the Hills was where Vicki and I grew up spiritually. It's the place that we knew accepted us unconditionally, and we are grateful for that. So my question to you this morning is, are you happy? Yeah, well, a few of you, I guess, right? Yeah. The rest of you, maybe you could be happier as the service goes on. We'll see. Yes, there you go. Yeah. There's a man named Dr. Robert Emmons. Maybe some of you read some of his books on gratitude and happiness. He's a researcher and a psychologist, and he says that everybody has a happiness set point, that we all have a level of happiness, and that those levels are different from one person to another. So that means that the person sitting next to you might actually be happier than you. And these levels of happiness that we have can rise and they can fall, and they rise and fall usually by our experiences throughout the day. But eventually, they just go back to that happiness set point that we all have, kind of our default position for happiness. So Dr. Emmons wondered if he could change that, and he wondered if he looked at cortisol levels and he could decrease those, because those are the stress hormones, and if he could find a way to increase oxytocin, that they call the hug hormone, that he would really be onto something. And what he found in his studies, that if he could find a way to have people increase their gratitude, that would increase their happiness levels by about 25%. 25%, a little variance in the boosting that happiness level. So the gratitude then would not be dependent on the rising and falling of the circumstances during the day, but simply your thoughts or your feelings wrapped up in moments of thankfulness and gratitude would change your body chemistry and reduce stress and increase happiness. Dr. Emmons said that those who practiced gratitude in his experiment were shown to have stronger immune systems and lower blood pressure and stronger relationships and had a tendency to even be more creative. And they bounced back more quickly in times of adversity. So practicing gratitude changed Dr. Emmons' experiments. So who wants to raise that happiness level? Right? All right. So let's explore a little bit more about gratitude. We normally think that gratitude happens after we receive something good. And we certainly should be grateful for all of the blessings we receive. But I would like you to flip that idea just a little bit. Think about it a little deeper today. Shake that idea of gratitude up just a bit. Some of you may know the Unity Classic minister Eric Butterworth. And he explains that gratitude is not a reactionary emotion. It's a causative energy. He says that gratitude puts us right in the creative process. That gratitude becomes our power. It becomes our magic. It becomes an intention, actually, that brings about our good and our abundance. So in this way, the universe is waiting for a sign from you. It's waiting for your gratitude. So when someone says, here's your sign is gratitude. Even Plato said that a grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts great things to itself. So that's another question. Do we want to be attractive? Sure we do. And you could attract great things with your gratitude. You will be powerfully attractive with gratitude as that high-level positive energy. New Thought writer Wallace Wattles says that gratitude connects us with Source. He writes, "You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, because it is gratitude that keeps you connected with the power. The creative power within us makes us into the image of what we give our attention to. So a grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best, and therefore it receives the best." We know that. That's unity principle number 3. What you think about comes about. So gratitude focuses our highest possible energy levels on our desires, our truth, the good. And it starves out any emotions that are negative, of doubt and fear, of all those things we don't want. Gratitude will starve those out. And we know we can't be grateful in one moment and be fearful in the same moment. It can't happen. So this week we're celebrating Thanksgiving. The whole nation will take at least that one day to be grateful. They'll count their blessings, give a little nod to some higher power. We hope it means more to most than that. And I don't know about you, but our family starts planning for Thanksgiving during the summer months. Actually, my granddaughter, who's here with me today, when I practiced this talk before her, because you always have your grandchildren as your greatest critics, you know, she said, "That's not quite right. We don't plan in summer. We usually plan the next Thanksgiving during Thanksgiving or the day after." because it's a big deal in our house. It's our most favorite holiday. And I'm sure, like you, you have bought all the extras, all of the food that you possibly could need. Because, let's be honest, we don't want them just to be fed, but we want them to be overfed. So we plan, let's feed everyone. And then you may have thought of, at some point, the Bible story that talks about the feeding of the 5,000. And we're not quite going to have 5,000 at Thanksgiving, although it might feel like it in that house. But this Bible story of the loaves and the fish, the 5,000 hungry people, and only one boy's lunch, it's a little bit of a dilemma, little lack of planning maybe on someone's behalf. But in that moment, Jesus, our way shower, just moves into gratitude. The scriptures say that he just gave thanks. And I don't believe that he gave thanks for the outer circumstance of the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. But I believe that he was in the presence of abundance. That from that power and that presence of abundance, the wholeness of God's substance, always present in its entirety at every moment. That's what he gave gratitude for. It reminded me then of my favorite Catherine Ponder affirmation that says, "The rich substance of the universe instantly responds to my prosperous thinking. I am now rich in mind and manifestation." Catherine Ponder understood about affirmations, and she understood about abundance. The rich substance of the universe instantly responds to my prosperous thinking. I am now rich in mind and manifestation. That idea of blessing is amazing. It means to confer and to claim abundance, to give prosperity to. A blessing is calling the good into expansion. It's a reminder. It's a centering. It's a shift in our perspective from any lack to abundance. And I would be amiss on this platform today if I didn't quote Rumi. Some of you know. Rumi says that one who cherishes gratitude does not cling to the gift. Spread your blessings around, your conference of abundance and your claim of abundance. Bless your car. I drive a 1999 Tracker that we bought for our son new in 1999. He blessed it so much and he gave it back to us with a big dent on the side. We have another vehicle, but that's what I call my work car. We bless it. We want it to last. Bless your bank account. Bless your family. Bless your friends. Bless this church. And bless this country. So right now, I'd like you to turn to the person to the left and to right of you and say, "God bless you." Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. And you're all smiling. You've just raised your happiness set point. You expand into that rich substance of the universe with your blessing and with your gratitude. So in the story of that feeding of the 5,000, and that was 5,000 men, women, and children. Well, actually, they didn't count the women and children. They didn't count. But that day when all of them were fed, the scriptures report that they were fed as much as they wanted, and that there were still 12 baskets of food left over. That is gratitude as causation. And there's different times in our life where we have that feeling of panic, that feeling of stress, that feeling that we have to have the weight of 5,000 upon us with just 2 little fishes and 5 loaves. We need to remember in those moments that gratitude is a choice that we can live from. It is a place of abundance. That is the truth of who we are. So we could face life's circumstances as a dirge, or we could face it as a dance. And I hope you dance. I hope you dance with abundance and with gratitude. Because if you're sitting here today with a little rough patch in your life, an undesired job, a health situation, whatever it may be, because life throws those things at us, I hope that you're aware that there is a sufficiency and a possibility and abundance beyond all of those appearances of lack. That is what gratitude can do, is shift that perspective. Emma Curtis Hopkins, a great New Thought teacher in the 1800s, said that if you're going through life and you see a big blob of negativity arrive, she said, don't look away. Don't pretend it's not there. Don't complain about it either. She said to say, this too is good, this too is of God, and I demand to see a blessing in it. Right? She got it. She influenced a lot of the Unity writers then of that time. It's also like the story of the optimistic little boy. Upon arriving maybe on a farm somewhere, he sees a great big pile of manure. And he starts dancing and jumping around with joy. And his father thinks, I've really raised a weird one now. And the father says, what's going on? And the boy exclaims to him, Father, with all this manure, there has to be a pony in there somewhere. That's shifting your perspective. Walt Whitman wrote, oh, while I live to be the ruler of life, to meet life as a potential conqueror, a powerful conqueror, and nothing exterior to me would ever take command of me. That's how we should live, right? Nothing takes command of me externally. We maintain gratitude as that set point in times of trouble, so we're not tossed around by life like a pinball in a pinball machine. Gratitude helps us set our course in life through any dark or foggy or misty circumstances that we ever find ourselves in. Gratitude helps us realign so we can see the big picture and not be overwhelmed by the small stuff. It's a cosmic reset button. When life throws us those curves, no matter what, thank outside the box. Thank outside the box. Because it doesn't matter at that moment if what you're seeing in front of you seems, it doesn't seem to be good. Your perspective, you calling upon and conferring that blessing upon it will help you think outside the box. So gratitude could become a spiritual practice. A practice, right? A habit, our second nature, our default position, if you would, our new set point. Just as prayer and meditation becomes our spiritual practices to align us to our center and move us to those higher levels of consciousness, so does gratitude. So when we sense our mind drifting from our highest and best, we stop and have a gratitude moment. Gratitude then shifts our whole perspective from life's manure and onto that potential pony. Yes. Any basketball fans? Little non sequitur here. Any basketball fans? Some of you may not be old enough to remember Larry Bird. All right. Okay. And really, to me, he was one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And he was praised for his ability to make the three-point shot. He practiced that shot daily. His teammates said that he even showed up to practice before all of the other teammates just to practice that three-pointer, because he knew that he needed that in the clutch. And in the 90s, maybe some of you remember, Larry Bird was called upon to have a series of commercials. And one of the commercials he was in was written that he was to miss the three-point shot. Little script, Larry Bird, come up to the three-point line, miss the shot. It's all fine and dandy, except you're Larry Bird. And he had embedded in his mind so much about that three-point shot. That was his default position, that it took 15 takes before he could miss. Right? Even if he wanted to, he was struggling to miss. So we need to make gratitude our default position in that way, by practice. It might not be your innate ability, it might not be your natural happiness set point, but you can practice gratitude. Rhonda Byrne, in her book, The Magic, which is another sequel to The Secret, she offered suggestions and methods of reminding us to be grateful. In her book, she talks about creating an imagination of magic gratitude dust that you could just sprinkle around, that you could sprinkle that on your desk before you start work each day because you're grateful for your job. Or you could sprinkle it over your stack of bills because you know where your abundance lies. You could sprinkle it over your food. Not that it would eliminate calories, but you would know your true source of abundance, that God was your source. She suggests other things too, like tying gratitude with daily routines, such as brushing your teeth, or washing your hands, or using hand sanitizer, or even drinking your morning coffee, listening to a song. As many of you know, Vicki and I have a song in our house that we call our gratitude song. And I know she shared it with the board and a lot of people when we ministered here. And it's called Beethoven's 5 Secrets by the Piano Guys. It's about 5 minutes, perfect for gratitude. Because as the song goes slow and then crescendos and then evens out so beautifully, you think of all the things you're grateful for in that 5 minutes. And sometimes you do get stuck and you're just grateful for the chair you're sitting in or the window, the fact that glass was invented. It doesn't matter. You're grateful and you allow the feelings of gratitude to rise up in your mind and heart. That's a good idea to do. Oprah Winfrey also was asked one time, of all the things she's done for others, what was the greatest thing she ever did for herself? And Oprah immediately described her gratitude journal. She talked about how she committed herself to, at the end of the day, writing down 5 things that she was grateful for that day. The trouble is that she realized that what she was doing instead was waking up every morning looking for the things she was grateful for already. They just started coming to her more and more. Create gratitude as a habit in whatever way you can so that it becomes a response, because it is your mighty power. It is a causative force. It's a spiritual practice, and it could be your default position. I know that if I could wave my magic wand over Unity's 12 powers, I would make them into 13, and I would add gratitude as that 13th power. So listen to those powers right now, because to have gratitude in the midst of life's activities activates our faith and our imagination as we begin to see beyond appearances. Our understanding comes beyond those negative blobs with gratitude. And with gratitude, we gain wisdom to live from positions of strength and power. And having gratitude brings about the order and harmony that we need as we renounce those thoughts that do not serve us. We choose gratitude with our will and we spring forth with zeal and life-energizing happiness. So, my fellow travelers, let's commit to everyday gratitude and make it our default position. Do you want to be more happy? Let's practice, practice, practice. I know I'm grateful to be here. May God bless Unity Church of the Hills. Namaste.
I'm pretty lucky. Thank you. So we're going to take time now to act like Rumi, and we're going to spread our blessings around. And one way that we can do that is through a reoccurring gift to Unity Church of the Hills. You can go online and sign up for that. You can go out to the kiosk and give that way. You can even do one of these weird old-fashioned things. And we accept green as well. So before we take our offering, what I would like, or receive our offering, what I would like to do at this point is have you read with me, say and feel with me our blessing. Find love through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
We've come to celebrate the Lord higher than we have before. We've come to celebrate the Lord and lift our souls up higher. We've come to celebrate the Lord higher than we have before. We've come to celebrate the Lord and lift our souls up higher than before. Oh, let's celebrate the Lord while the love is running warm in our veins. Because of His mercy and kindness, His love is worthy to be praised. So stand up and give the Lord a shout out. You know God's been good to you. Tell your neighbor and tell your friends what we've come to do. Hey, 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 hey. Tell 'em we've
Does everybody feel a little higher? So help me send a little blessing dust this way. Sweet Spirit, we are so grateful for all these gifts and the givers and the ability to support the church that we love. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
And we're going to sing our kids into Walking in the Light of